So we didn't have a chance to meet today, so I quickly just want to share some important information with you so that we don't have to call another extra meeting. So first of all, I want to just talk about T-Val, Tefillah, Parsha pointers, midterms, and home phone calls. Last meeting, we talked about Tefillah. Each Rebbe was going to give a short Kriya assessment so that we know which students are struggling with Kriya. We could have an idea of how many students need some sort of intervention so that we could figure out what to do in the future, because we all felt that the boys were not davening possibly because they did not know how to read, and it was difficult for them to daven. So hopefully sometime between now, next week, the next week or two, everybody should give those, or at least start giving those assessments. Recess, I stood outside today and I counted. There were 27 boys who came in late after everybody was called in, after Rabbi Morgan Besser blew his whistle and the Rebbeim called everybody in. I mentioned to each student that they were obviously going to be late to class because they came in late. I'm going to try to do that a few more times and also start keeping track of those students that are coming in late. And obviously the Rebbe should also mark them late and they should lose points for not coming to class on time. Which they will lose in the participation rubric. T-Eval. At this point, hopefully everybody completed their self-evaluation in T-Eval. If you did not, if you're not sure, your username is your HALB email address, and your password is your last name and your first initial after your last name, all lowercase. And if you need any help with that, you can ask me or Mr. Skolnick. We're both available to help you with that. Once I come into your classroom, I will send you, you'll receive an email with a short, maximum 1,000 letter feedback via email. You could either reply through the email or follow up in person. I would prefer that you follow up. Find me at your convenience to discuss whatever feedback I gave you. And we'll hopefully, based on that, we'll be able to develop a professional development plan for you as we go through the year. Obviously, if you have any questions or feedback on whatever I gave you in the feedback, you should please send that to me. Tefillah. If everybody could just talk a little bit about the power of tefillah in their classrooms, however you can, wherever you could include it in your lessons, that would be great. I'm not telling you when, where, what, or how, but it would be great to just talk a little bit more about it because I feel like we're making a lot of progress. Also, at this point, I think every single grade's tefillah program, whatever contest you have, whether it's Rabbi Kramer's 3-point system or it's the 6th grade ticket system, everything should be in place by now because we're really making a lot of strides and improvements, but I think there's still some improvements to be made. 6th grade joined us and was really, really very nice this week for Shachris. Mincha, they still need some help. If at any point I am not around and Rabbi Lebetsky's not around for Mincha, even though one of us are always trying to be around, please help us out, cover it for a little bit so that they don't get out of control, but they've really been pretty good. We're also getting that program that we talked about next week. Parsha pointers, there are a lot of questions about when to teach it and when to test it. Rabbi Kramer would like us to teach it during the week and be tested on Friday so that the students know the material when they go into Shabbos, which makes perfect sense. I would like to, because a lot of Rebbeim are asking, we don't have enough time, when should we teach it? We're thinking of possibly creating a video that the students will be able to watch, explaining them, and then it's on them to watch it at any point during the week, take the test on Friday, and go into Shabbos knowing the Parsha. So it won't take any class time. We haven't worked out all those details right now, so at this point, please try to teach your Parsha pointers throughout the week. This week, the Parshas Noach Parsha pointers test will be on Monday morning. For in the future, it will be on Friday. So please either put it on your haiku classes or let the students know about it. Midterms, please keep track. If you're adding any new words or new concepts that were not on in the past, please keep track of them so that when we get to the midterm, you have a list. And home phone calls, I really can't stress it enough. A lot of people are just communicating home via emails. Parents still like the personal touch of a phone call. If you did not make a phone call home, try to call home at some point. Parent-teacher conferences is right around the corner, and you're going to be talking to these people, and it may be the first time you're talking to them, and obviously it will probably go much easier if you had some sort of communication with them. The following items were in the FYI, but I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of them. On Tuesday, Rabbi Chaim Asher Kramer, Rabbi Reuven Levine, and Rabbi Shmuel Morgenbesser will be going to the Institute of Play. And Rabbi Fine will be covering the 7th grade for the day. Rabbi Meir Kramer will be covering the 6th grade for the day. If you have any questions, we could talk about it. Hopefully they'll come back and bring us back some great ideas for our classrooms. On Thursday, the 6th grade boys will be leaving at 8:15. They're going to daven from 8 to 8:15, 8:20. Or they could continue davening on the bus if they want, but they really got to get out by 8:20. They're going to be going on a team building trip. They'll be back in school by 2 o'clock. Rabbi Meir Kramer, Rabbi Morgenbesser, myself, and Rabbi Lubetsky are going. If you need anything while we are gone, Rabbi Kramer is always available, or Mrs. Wine as an administrator. Thank you. Thank you.